Okay, what are the 14 worst upgrades that you can do for your house? Things that you're going to regret doing. Look, you could do whatever you want with your house. Don't worry about it. But these upgrades that I'm going to discuss in this video are things that people generally regret. And more importantly, if you end up selling your house, quite often buyers that come in, they don't like it. It makes them hesitate. It makes them think twice before buying your place. So there's kind of advice on both sides, things that you might regret personally and things that might make the resale of your house a little bit more difficult. But we're going to go through 14. There's quite a lot of them here. And we're going to start with marble countertops. We're going to get into the waterfall edges on the islands where the marble or granite or whatever goes down to the floor. Open shelving units, glass cabinet cases, freestanding soaking tubs are a disaster. Whirlpools, same thing. Open floor plans have gone too far. Home theaters in your home are generally bad. We'll talk about all of these. Wall-to-wall carpeting, don't do it. It lowers the value of your property. Built-in fire pits, above ground pools is a huge problem. That's really a pain in the neck. Giant water features that people have in their backyard. I've got some examples of those as well. Huge play sets for the kids that you build with love and you end up regretting them. Garage ADU conversions and master suite additions, usually over top of the garage or something like that. So let's get started. First off, my name's Patrick. I'm a real estate agent here in Orange County, California. So I earn my living by helping people just like you buy and sell property. All my contact information is in the description of this video, and you can also scan this QR code, which will bring all my contact information right into your phone. Okay. Marble countertops. Here's the deal. They look gorgeous. They're incredible. They look like straight out of a magazine. They look stunning. The marbling, the design, the natural design looks great. Here's the problem. They stain. They stain a lot. And it's a real problem. So even like if you leave a glass of wine that's got like a dirty bottom, maybe some wine is at the base of that glass, you're going to end up with that red circle on your marble countertop. It's going to stain. It's going to stay there probably forever. It's almost impossible to get rid of these stains. Like lemon juice, like you leave some olive oil, or maybe you're making breakfast and some bacon ends up on the countertop and the grease gets into that marble. It's going to stain. It's going to stain. And you have to seal them too. You have to seal them like every 6 months. So you got to seal it. You got to clean everything off, clear everything off the countertop. Then you got to make sure they're super clean, seal them with the liquid, and then let it cure for like a day so it dries. You're doing this every 6 months to try and protect the marble countertop. In other words, you're a slave to the marble countertop, which looks so beautiful. You don't want it. You're gonna constantly be, even like I said, you're making breakfast in the morning on a Sunday. You want to have a relaxing day, make a nice big breakfast with scrambled eggs and bacon. And all of a sudden you can't relax and just enjoy your breakfast because you're worried about something on the marble countertop. So avoid marble countertops. Instead, use something like quartz. The new quartz is fantastic. It's stain resistant. It's super durable. And you can even get that marbling design with quartz. And then you can also go for granite countertops. Granite countertops are gorgeous. I love granite countertops. And believe it or not, you can even get concrete counters, which sounds crazy, but it's absolutely beautiful. I don't have a photo of that, but they're beautiful as well. So avoid marble countertops. Here's the waterfall, where the marble or the quartz or granite or whatever you've got, it goes around the side of the island and it goes right down to the floor. And again, it looks nice. It looks beautiful. It looks like it's out of a nice magazine. It's a gorgeous look. But here's the problem. It's going to get chipped. It's guaranteed. Just because it goes right down to the floor, it's in the kitchen. There's so much traffic. People are carrying stuff. Maybe they're dropping something or they're rolling a chair around and that one of the wheels hits it. It's going to get chipped. And once it's chipped, no one's going to see anything except the chip because the rest of it is so beautiful and uniform. It looks so clean and so crisp. And then, oh, there on the corner, there's a chip. And that's what everyone's going to notice. And you're going to be so frustrated because you have this gorgeous island, but there's a chip in it. So put it on the top, put the countertop on the top. It looks beautiful. Don't do the waterfall edges that go down to the floor. All right, number three, open shelvings units, in your kitchen. These things are there. It's like a display is what it is. It makes your kitchen into a museum because you got to have everything perfectly organized and lined up like toy soldiers. Everything has to look beautiful because if it doesn't, it immediately looks messy, right? And you have to make sure you have to take everything off the shelf and wipe those shelves down so there isn't any dirt or anything, or God forbid there's a fly that's crawling on some of the dishes. People get grossed out because there's a fly on the dish. I'm telling you, you're going to be a slave to these shelves. They look nice. I get it. They look beautiful. If you're in an Airbnb for the weekend, it's perfect, right? No problem at all. But if you're going to live with that every single day, it's the same thing with glass glass on the front. It's the same thing. Everything inside has to be perfectly organized and lined up perfectly. And if it is and everything's clean, you can't even have like a fingerprint on the glasses because you can see it from outside. So every glass has to be perfectly clean and everything's lined up and the shelves have to be clean. And if they're not, you're going to regret it. Someone's going to see it and it's going to look messy and it's going to look dirty. So don't be a slave to these glass cabinets. You don't want them. Get it covered. Get traditional cabinets in your kitchen. You get a little bit of privacy. You can put it in there and shut the door so people don't see that there's a piece of dirt in the corner or there's a fingerprint on one of the wine glasses. Okay. Freestanding tubs in the bathroom, yet again, they look awesome. Like I'm not debating that they look awesome. They look like it looks like a resort. It looks like you're rich and just, enjoying La Vida Loca, you're enjoying life. But the bottom line is you never use it because they're super impractical. Not beyond that, they're giant and they take up a ton of space. Basically, you end up with an obstacle in the middle of your bathroom that you hardly ever use because they're actually not that easy to get in and out of. They're a pain in the neck. People don't generally use them. And then the worst part is you got to clean behind them. Do you know how hard that is to clean behind these things? And there's going to be little spider webs or something like some cobwebs or some dust bunnies back there that you got to reach back and try and get to. I'm telling you, you're going to regret it. And you might use it once or twice a year. And aside from that, it's going to be a pain in the neck. So I highly recommend get a built-in soaking tub, right? It's a little bit less luxurious, right? It's a little bit less incredible to look at, but you're going to be way happier. It's easier to maintain. You're probably going to use it more often than you would otherwise. You can get very nice built-in soaking tubs, stick with those. And while we're talking about bathrooms and about these tubs, don't get a whirlpool. You don't want a whirlpool because here's what happens. You're going to use it like 4 times. You're going to be excited about it. You're going to see it. You're going to be like, oh my God, this thing's awesome. You're going to use it 4 times, 6 times, and that's it. You're going to get tired of it. And then the jets are going to start to get dirty, right? So you got to clean the jets. The engines are loud, so it makes noise when you're in it and you're right there. So the noise is right beside you. So if someone's down the hall calling your name, you don't hear it because you're in the soaking tub with the jets going. You end up not using it. And now it just becomes a giant waste of space in your bathroom. So there's no point getting these whirlpool tubs. You'll use them 4, 5, 6 times and then it'll just sit there and it'll collect dust. So just get a regular built-in soaking tub. Okay, open floor plans. Open floor plans are awesome. And they've been awesome since the 90s, right? All the new houses are all built this way and they look beautiful. Um, but it's gone too far. These open floor plans have gone way too far. So now you get to a point where you walk into a house and you can literally see the entire house right from the very front door, including right into the backyard. You can see everything because it's one giant open floor plan. And it looks great, but guess what? You're going to hate it. You're going to hate it, but you have no privacy at all. Like you're going to end up like you're going to want to have a relaxing time. Maybe you're going to want to watch Monday Night Football. You're going to want to sit on the couch and watch Monday Night Football, but you can't because someone's cooking in the kitchen and they're making all kinds of noise and having a conversation with someone. Or maybe you have a daughter or a son who's taking piano lessons and the piano's right there in the middle of this open floor plan place. So the piano's everywhere. You can't get away from it. You love your child. You're proud of her or proud of him for learning piano. It's going to drive you crazy. It's going to drive you crazy. You need to have a little bit of privacy. But so before you like knock down a wall because you want to open up your house, just think about the privacy side of it a little bit. And do you want to have a little bit of space somewhere where you can kind of get away, get a little bit of separation? Now, if you have one of these super open plans where your entire place is open, like I said, they look beautiful. They look gorgeous. So don't worry about like selling it. You'll be able to sell it. Don't even worry about it because the buyers that walk in, they don't yet know that is going to drive them crazy. They don't yet understand the frustrations that are associated with these super open plans. So they're going to walk into your house with the idea possibly of buying your house, and they're going to love it. So don't worry about it. I'm just saying that if you're thinking about, taking a wall down or opening up further, just take a moment. Don't do it so quickly because it's something that you might end up regretting later on. And that's also the case with these home theaters. So home theaters became the rage in like the 90s. And some of these home theaters are beautiful. They look great. They're super impressive if they're done well. But I'll tell you what, every buyer that comes through an open house that has a home theater, the first thing they think when they see that home theater room is how can we modify it to for whatever we want? Maybe turning it into, usually these are big rooms. You can turn it into another bedroom with a bathroom in the same room, or kind of like a little ensuite right there. You can even create another master bedroom, so you have two masters instead of one. But the bottom line is, every single buyer looks at that home theater. None of them, very few of them, say, "Oh my God, what? This is great! We're gonna have a home theater." They don't think that way. They think like, "Okay, how can we modify it? How can we change it?" So just know that if you have a home theater, it's not going to work well when it comes time to sell the house. All right, number 8, wall-to-wall carpeting tends to reduce the sales price of your home by 3.6%. That's research that I got from the National Association of Realtors. I don't know how accurate that is, but wall-to-wall carpeting is generally not, people frown on it. They don't like it. It's old school. They inevitably get dirty in the middle and they still look brand new on the edges because no one walks on the edge of the room. So you have this mismatch of the middle, which is the carpet's all crunched down and maybe has some stains in it, and the sides still look nice. It just doesn't work. If you have wall-to-wall carpeting, that's fine. We can talk about maybe changing it. It costs money to change it, but certainly, like if you have hardwood flooring, refinishing the hardwood flooring will add to the home's value. And hardwood floors, just in general, will add to the value of the home instead of subtracting. Now, of course, it costs money to take carpeting out and put hardwood flooring down in its place. That's going to cost money. But the bottom line is, people look on hardwood floors way more favorably than they do on wall-to-wall carpeting. Okay, built-in fire pits. Again, they're great, right? And you're going to enjoy them. Like, I have no doubt that you're going to love having it. You're going to sit out there in the backyard, turn on the fire pit. Maybe you'll have countless evenings back there having a drink or whatever, enjoying the fire pit. They're great. They're very nice. But generally speaking, when it comes to sell the house, people don't look at it as a plus. They look at it as a negative, and how can we change it? Not all. I mean, some people come in and they just love it, but the majority of people look at that fire pit and think, okay, how can we get rid of it? How can we change it? There's lots of mobile fire pits that you can get that actually I mean, they don't look like they're built in, but they're substantial enough that it doesn't really make a difference. And I highly recommend getting one of those as opposed to building an actual fire pit right into your backyard. Costs a lot of money and you're going to enjoy it. I have no doubt that you're going to enjoy it. But when it comes time to sell, people are going to think not that great of it. Okay. If you're watching this video still, please subscribe to the channel. Listen, it makes such a huge difference for the YouTube algorithm. You have no idea. YouTube actually looks at 3 things. If you like the video, if you comment on the video, and if you subscribe to the channel. And if you do any or all of those, like, they will show this video to more people, which obviously is what I want. So if you're enjoying this content, please write a comment, please like the video, and please subscribe to the channel. Okay, number 10. Above ground pools, these things are a disaster. Building a pool, like an in-ground pool, is expensive, but you do generally get your money back, and the home value actually goes up. In fact, I just read something that said that the home value in Southern California, which is where I live, can be 5 to 7% higher if it has a pool than if it doesn't have a pool. That's impressive. That's not the case for an above ground pool. An above ground pool is seen as a liability. People want to get rid of it. Draining it is a problem. In fact, I just read a story not long ago where someone wanted to drain their above ground pool and they did it the wrong way, and then all the water came out all at once and ended up washing away a bunch of the soil and ended up resulting in the house being declared at risk because there's so much of the soil got washed away because all this water came out of that pool all at one time. Now, obviously, that was done poorly. It's not going to happen that way in most cases, but it's a liability. It's a problem. Uh, if the kids want it, you can even get like inflatable ones that aren't nearly as, they're not as big, they're not as deep, but those ones are going to be easier. If you actually build an above ground pool, it's going to be a liability later on. Same thing with these giant water features. People do all kinds of things, like where they build these extravagant, this feature in the back, this decorative feature that looks so impressive. But the bottom line is, when it comes time to sell, the buyers look at it and they're like, oh my God, how are we going to get rid of this? Like they don't want it because it's your taste, it's what you love. And that makes perfect sense. And again, if you're going to be in your home for the next 5, 10 years, 15 years, build the water feature, do whatever you want. That sounds good to me, right? Some people have these koi ponds in their backyard. You know what? I love koi ponds. I would love to have a koi pond in my house. I would actually love to have it built into my living room to have a koi pond. But you know what? I'm not going to do it because when it comes time to sell the house, everyone who walks in there is going to be like, how are we going to get rid of the koi pond? So if you're thinking about building a giant water feature, just take a step back and think about the consequences of doing something like that. Same thing goes with these huge play sets. You're going to build it with love, right? You're building it for your kids, right? You're going to love every second of it. The kids are going to love you for building it. They're going to be happy with you that you put this thing together and they're going to enjoy it like crazy. But when it comes time to sell the house, now the kids are older, they're teenagers, they're not playing on it anymore. Now you're selling the house, you're moving into a bigger place or a different neighborhood or whatever. And all the buyers are going to look at this thing and say, how do we get rid of the play set, right? Very few people. I just did a house recently that had this giant skateboarding ramp in the backyard. And they wanted to leave it there because they thought that some buyers would love it because the house was in Huntington Beach. And of course, skateboarding is all the rage here in Southern California. You know what? I did that open house. I didn't have one person come through that said, "Oh my gosh, this is so great. It's got a skateboarding ramp in the back." Nobody said that. Now, maybe you find that needle in a haystack that comes in and was like, "This is exactly what we want." But chances are, most buyers, it's a narrower pool that's going to like it and a much wider pool that's going to want to get rid of it. All right, ADU conversions. So ADU conversions, this is an interesting one because maybe you have like, parents that you want to they have a place on your property that's still separate from your house or whatever. Or maybe even a child who's now like in their 20s and so you want to help them. And then of course you can even have tenants so you can get a little bit of money as well in the ADU. But the bottom line is, and these ADUs, like they do a nice job. I just did an ADU in Garden Grove with a client, and they did a great job. I mean, it's beautiful, and now she's got a tenant, and the payment that she had to pay a lot of money to put this ADU together. It was, I forget exactly how much it was, but it was over $100,000 to build it. But in any case, like now she's got a tenant, and the rent payment that's coming in every month is more than the payment on the loan to build it. So she's actually cash positive. She has some cash flow. So good for her. I'm super happy for her and it's great. But the bottom line is when it comes time to sell the house, buyers want a garage. In fact, that's one of the things, like if you do open houses, it's astonishing how many people they don't consider the open house complete until they've seen the garage. 9 times out of 10, it's the husband, the man in the relationship, whatever the relationship is, but they want to see the garage. They want to know because that's their space. That's where they're going to have storage. That's where they're going to keep like seasonal decorations. That's where they're going to keep their car. They want something secure, something nice. People like having a garage. So if you convert your garage to an ADU, all of a sudden that garage is gone. So there's pros and cons. Like you've got extra square footage, you've got potential rental income, you've got potentially a place for your in-laws, the parents, whatever, maybe an adult child. But a lot of buyers are going to see it as a negative. Now, look, there's some ADUs that are built into the backyard, which are just absolutely gorgeous, right? Some of them are super beautiful. And to have something like this in your backyard, again, especially if you have like the in-laws or something like that, this thing could be absolutely fantastic. But again, even in that situation, I want you to think about your backyard, like the functionality of your backyard. Like you want to have a little oasis a little privacy back there where you can relax and not feel like there's someone in the ADU looking out the window and watching you drink a glass of wine in your own backyard, right? It takes the privacy away from your backyard. So I'm not debating that these ADUs are beautiful and they have incredible functionality and you can get rental income and the whole thing. I get it, but understand that it's going to change the functionality. It's going to change the character of your backyard. And you will lose privacy if you've got an ADU, someone's living back there, whether it's family or not, doesn't matter. Either way, someone's in there looking out the window while you're kicking around a soccer ball or having a glass of wine with your husband or wife or barbecuing some steaks with your friends. Like you want to have some privacy back there. So just think about it before you do something like that. And the same goes, last but not least, this is the final one, the 14th reno. These are these master suite additions that people build quite often on top of the garage. And look, they're here again. Like you can build an amazing master suite up there. It's probably going to cost you 130, 150 grand, depending on what you do. It could even be more than that, depending on where you are in the country. Certainly here, it could be more than that to do something like this. But bottom line is you can build a beautiful suite. I'm just telling you that you're probably not going to get your money back. In other words, let's say you spend 150 grand to build this thing. It's not going to add 150 grand to your sales price. I mean, it might, but it's unlikely. It's unlikely. So if you're going to build a master suite on top of the garage, then I really encourage you, like, make sure if you're going to live in the house for the next, 5 or 10 years, go for it. Go for it. Build that thing. And you're going to have a whole bunch of extra space. You can make it beautiful and it's brand new, and you can have a beautiful master suite up there. And I hope you enjoy it. But if you're planning on selling relatively soon, don't spend the money because you're not going to get it back. You're not going to get it back. You're going to, put 150 into it and maybe you'll get 80 or 100 back. That's a guess. I don't know. It depends on how nice of a job they do, but you're not going to get all your money back. So it's going to end up being some money wasted for you. So just keep that in mind. All right. So which ones have you done? Right? Have you done any of these renos or maybe something else that I didn't even think of? Please write it in the comments. Did it go well? Did it not go well? Did you feel like you wasted your money? Right? Did you get your money back if you ended up selling the property? I want to hear about it, and the comments help the video as well. So please post a comment below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, my name's Patrick. If you need anything here in Orange County with respect to real estate, please let me know. Thank you for watching, and I hope to meet you sometime soon.